assignments, doubts, exams. We have got you back. EduPlanner make every chapter easy to understand. Stay tuned, learn more, grow with us.
So this question starts with having carbon react with water to form H2 and CO. And so the first thing we can do is, since we're given the concentrations of H2O, H2, and CO, we can find the Kc of the equation, which is just the concentration of H2 times the concentration of CO over the concentration of H2O. And so that equals 0.13 times 0.13 over 0.43. And that gives us a Kc of 0.0393. And so now we add some O2 to the reaction. And so now we have the reaction, and it reacts with the H2, is what it says in the question. So we have the reaction 2 H2 plus O2 forms 2 H2O. And so since we have 0.13 moles of H2, that means we'll have 0.13 moles of H2O due to their mole-to-mole ratios both being 2. So for every 2 moles of H2, there's 2 moles of H2O, and so they're the same number. Now, I'll go to a new page so we can go back to our original equation and do an ice table, initial change equilibrium. So here's our original chemical equation, and we want to do an ice table, initial change equilibrium. Our initial H2O is going to be the amount we started with, 0.43, plus the 0.13 we gained after adding the O2. Our initial H2 is now 0 because all of our H2 is reacted. And our CO is still the same. Our change is minus x plus x plus x, and so we end up with 0.56 minus x, and 0.13 plus x for our new equilibrium concentrations. So now we can go back to our Kc equation, concentration of H2 times concentration of CO over the concentration of H2O. And we know it still equals 0.393 because our temperature is not changed. And so now we can plug in our values from our ice table. And now we want to take this and turn it into a quadratic equation so that we can solve for x. And when we do that, we end up with x squared plus 0.1693x minus 0.022 equals 0. And now when we solve for x quadratically, we get a negative value, which does not make sense, so we have to go with our positive value, 0.0861529. And I'm keeping all of these sig figs just so I can cut off sig figs at the end. And so now that we have that, we can just find our concentration of CO, which we found our new equilibrium to be 0.13 plus x. Therefore, it's 0.13 plus our 0.0861529. And that gives us a new CO concentration of 0.216 molar. And so that is our final answer.